Very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this special edition of Tornado Talk. Glad to be joined this evening by Brevard College head women's volleyball coach, Anna Grant. Coach, thanks for joining the program.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. It's good to see you and good to be out here for all the fans who are trying to tune into anything sports related they can right now.
Yeah, good point, and glad we're able to make this even though we're in different locations, and glad we're able to provide this to NATO Nation. First of all, how are you and your family doing during these unusual times?
We're doing really well. My husband works for a produce company, and so he's obviously been very busy, and so he's been working, but I've been home with my 8.5-month-old son this whole time and working remotely during his nap time. So it's been going really well. Definitely thankful to, still be working and still be employed, but have this time with my family. It's been really great getting a lot of projects done. And so quarantine has been pretty good to us.
Great to hear. And I know it's been an adjustment for the student athletes at Brevard College as well. Online classes, began back in March and then through the end of the spring semester. And now we're in the summer months. How has the volleyball team, been able to handle it all? And have they been staying in touch through technology?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that our team has been doing really well. I think some of the girls really enjoyed doing the online learning experience and just kind of going at their own pace. It was an adjustment for others, but I think overall we just stayed in touch with them throughout the weeks, leading up until final exams, and just tried to help walk them through it. And I think honestly, with recruiting especially, we're going to take some of the things we've learned during this time and take them beyond, back to when things are quote unquote normal. We'll be able to, set up Zoom or FaceTime meetings with recruits a little bit more often. We've really seen a good impact from that. And also we've done one Zoom meeting with the entire roster for 2020. So all the incoming freshmen, we have one transfer in the returning class. And that was really cool that we got to hang out with them all together. And we plan on doing a few more things over the summer, so that my hopes are that by the time fall rolls around, we're not as, rushing to get everyone acquainted with each other. We're all kind of familiar with each other already. And they have their own group chat on their own. So it'll be interesting to see how this positively affects us in the fall. I'm looking forward to that.
That's great to hear. And I know there's a lot to be excited about as far as Brevard College volleyball this fall of 2020. You mentioned the returning class, a very young team to begin with, but now 1 year older and a lot of returners. Also, first time as full-time members of the USA South Conference in NCAA Division III. So there's an opportunity for postseason play. And the schedule has been released and it's up on bctornadoes.com if fans want to check it out. A lot of excitement, Coach, for the fall of 2020.
Absolutely. Like you said, we have a strong group of returners. I think no matter where you are, by the time you're a junior or senior, you've really experienced some up and downs. And that gives you that experience, that level of maturity, and that drive and that passion to, finish your last couple of years strong. So I'm really looking forward to that. We have a really great group of girls that are coming back that have already been reaching out to the incoming class. And then the incoming class is really exciting. I think we have a lot of good talent coming in, and we'll have a little bit more depth in each position, which is something that we've been looking for in the last couple of years, just so that we have some of that competition within the team, makes practices a little bit more competitive. And then, when injuries do happen, we have someone else to look to, and we're not trying to shuffle around, people in their different positions. And I'm just really looking forward to the depth and the skills of the girls coming in. I think that we'll be a little bit ahead of where we've been in years past. So really looking forward to that, and looking forward to developing some leadership from that big class.
Very good. And also some off-season news. A new assistant volleyball coach at Brevard College has been hired, Kia Kaufman. She comes from the state of Colorado, so coming from the mountains of Colorado to the mountains of Western North Carolina. What can you tell us about Coach Kaufman?
So I'm really excited. She has been working for a club in Colorado in the Denver area for several years now. And she's actually been working with the 12s age group. And for those who aren't familiar with volleyball or club volleyball, that 12s age group is when a lot of skill and good habits are developed and a lot of technical training comes into play. And so I know that she has those technical training skills that I'm looking for in a coach. But when we spoke on the phone and the girls interviewed her, they really enjoyed her as well. And I feel like she'll be a great fit for the girls and for me. And she's going to be new to college coaching. So I'm really excited to share with her, the knowledge that I have and just kind of give her some of the resources that I've used. So I'm really excited to help her kind of get her feet into the game. I got the chance when I was really young, and Kia and I are actually the same age, but, I'm just really excited to give her the opportunity and the chance. And she is very eager to learn and, move out here and kind of start fresh. So I'm excited to get her here.
Very good. And she takes over for a BC alumna, Bailey Loudon, who I know has been very valuable, right alongside you, Coach Grant. Can you give us some words about Coach Loudon and just her contributions to the program?
Oh, gosh. Well, that would take up our entire time. From the time that she was an athlete at Brevard, she just did, whatever the team needed. She's kind of known as the team mom. And she just is a very selfless person. She wants to help others as much as she can. She works really hard. There are several days that I have to tell her to leave the office, to go home, and stop working. And so she's going to be missed. She's very involved in the community and has a lot of friends and people she's worked with in the area. And I know she's going to miss that a lot. But her husband did a great opportunity to go and get his master's grad degree. So right back home where she's from. So she'll get to be close to family, which she's looking forward to, definitely. So I'm going to miss her a lot, but I'm wishing them the best of luck in their next adventure. And I feel like they might come back this way sometime in the next couple of years.
And Coach, I don't know if you can see the graphic, but there's
Yep.
a Facebook message there from another Brevard College alum, Savannah Cox, and some exciting news for Savannah. She was named assistant volleyball coach at Pacific University out in the Pacific Northwest in the state of Oregon. Great to hear from Savannah, right, Coach?
Yeah, absolutely. I love keeping in touch with her. We've kind of kept in touch since she graduated and, she's just been grinding it out as an assistant coach. And so I really give her a lot of credit. She's one of the most passionate people I've ever met, especially about the sport of volleyball. And she just is also very selfless and a hard worker and really wants to see, these young women succeed and take what she knows and, help them any way she can, whether it's on or off the court. So, I think that she's going to do great things out there in Oregon and, it's really awesome to see her spread her wings and, go to these cool new places. I definitely love keeping up with her pictures and posts on social media.
Yeah, great to see the Brevard College alum in the coaching world now. And she's all over those Brevard College record books, all-time block assist record leader, also matches played. She played in 137 matches in her collegiate career as a 4-year starter at middle blocker position for the Tornadoes. So great to hear from Savannah Cox, and thanks for tuning in, Savannah. Now, we were talking about Coach Loudon, and she, along with SWA, that's Senior Women's Administrator Stephanie Johnson, took on a pretty strenuous role this past fall, helping you out, Coach, while you were on maternity leave with your son, Kellen, who's now 8.5 months being born. Can you talk about, last season and, just how valuable Coach Loudon and also Coach Johnson were for making it all happen?
Oh yeah. I knew, before I had my son, I thought, okay, 6 to 8 weeks, I think I can handle it. I'll be able to get in and get work done. And it turns out that my body and my mind just wasn't in that space yet. As much as I kept up with the team, kept up with the girls, I just knew that what was right for my family was to stay home a little longer. And so, as hard as it was to not be involved as much in the fall, I can't thank Bailey and Stephanie enough for all the hard work they put in, especially, Stephanie not, just doing it out of the goodness of her heart. She just wanted to be in the gym and help out. And so, that's very much appreciated. And there's some rocky times, there's some ups and downs. And I think that, overall is a great learning experience for everyone involved. Not that much is up to me. God blesses us when he does, but I don't think I'll ever, have a baby around September ever again. I just miss the volleyball too much. I miss that season. And it was just a lot to ask Coach Bailey to get in there and be a head coach with little to no experience with that role at all. So I think everyone learned some lessons, but I just, again, appreciate all the time and effort they put into it and everything that they did for the program.
Well, I can tell you this. Coach. I remember when we received word that Kellen was born, it was actually on a match day at the Boshemer Gymnasium, and the excitement that was, happening amongst the Tornadoes team, your players, but also with Coach Loudon and Coach Johnson, it was palpable. So know that they were with you every step of the way. That day of Kellen's birth.
Yeah, they were so great. They didn't want to bother me ever, but, they just really were such a great asset to have in that situation. And I definitely feel the love from the BC family when it comes to my son, too. I think he's already been accepted in the family. So it's a great atmosphere to have a child in.
You can't start Tornadoes too young, no doubt.
Nope, not at all. He's already had a onesie.
Very good. Now we've got a question here from Molly Penland. What are you most looking forward to this season, Coach?
I'm looking forward to getting to the conference tournament. I am so excited for the opportunity to be on the hunt for making it to the conference tournament, and I'm just gonna completely say that we're gonna be there. I'm gonna wish it into the world. I'm gonna believe it. I'm gonna manifest it. Doing everything that we can to get to that conference tournament now that we're able to be in the conference tournament. So definitely going on the hunt for that and taking care of the little goals all along the way to get to that point. So, it's going to be an interesting season. We'll see what happens with everything going on, but that is definitely one thing I'm looking forward to the most is that first championship season birth.
Very good. Now, Coach, I would like our fan base to get to know you a little further and your experience and background, especially in the sport of volleyball. And can we start early on? When did you first figure out that volleyball, was going to be the sport for you?
So I grew up in Lincoln, Nebraska, and started playing volleyball in third grade. And I played volleyball, basketball, I swam, I did softball. I pretty much did everything I could growing up, just as active as I could be. And it was about high school age when I went back to just volleyball and basketball, and I was kind of going back and forth between the two. But it was my club volleyball season, my freshman year. I tried out for a very competitive club in the area, not really knowing what would happen, not knowing if I would make it, just going out and doing the best that I could. And I ended up making the team. And that was the club that I played with for the rest of my time. And it was the most challenging experience. I had great coaching. I had great teammates, played alongside future All-Americans and some D2 champions, national champions. And so it was just a very competitive club, and I got the experience that I wanted. And from that point on, I just fell in love with volleyball. And I still played basketball through high school, and I even played a little bit my freshman year at the community college that I went to just for a little bit. But I live and breathe volleyball. I'm what they call a lifer now, so can't imagine my life without it.
And you played at Florida Gulf Coast, then ultimately at Appalachian State. And upon graduation at App State, you entered the coaching world. Can you talk about that transition from student athlete, from volleyball player to coach?
Yeah, so my freshman year, I went to Iowa Western Community College out in Council Bluffs, and I transferred to Florida Gulf Coast my sophomore year. My junior and senior year are when I played at App, and I love the mountains. I love Boone. And after I graduated from Appalachian State, I went and started my master's degree and played a year of beach volleyball at North Florida in Jacksonville. Then made my way back up to Boone to be an assistant coach. So I was 1 year removed, but I was still coaching players that I played with and some of my closest friends to this day. The transition was pretty easy for me. A lot of my former teammates said they kind of looked to me as a coach already. And so I knew that I was passionate about it. I knew that I was passionate about app and, coaching at that school. But then I really fell in love with game planning and the technical side of training. I'm a gym rat, so I love being in the gym. So those were the kind of things that were easy for me. The not so easy things were, figuring out how to do an itinerary, how to order all the gear. But all of those things really equipped me to step into the head coaching role here at Brevard. So, and I'm very lucky to have been to have been coached by and coached with Matt Genapro. And then I also coach with Chad Willis, and both of those guys are just, very big in the coaching world, and they mentored me. And as a second assistant, you kind of have one or two paths. Either kind of do all the dirty work and don't really get in on, the good stuff. Or if you're like me, you were really lucky and had mentors that, let you be a part of big decisions, let you, do some training and practice, and just like really help to guide you into the entire what all it takes to be a good coach. So I'm very thankful for that experience and those 2 years at App.
You mentioned how you played basketball early in your career, and ultimately you went the way of volleyball. My question is this: what makes volleyball, a character building sport for these, young ladies, who might be high school players and are trying to decide, hey, is volleyball a good route for me? What makes volleyball, in the big picture of things, a great sport to get involved with?
I think that that's a great question. I would say that, to me, I just love volleyball. Like, it's hard for me to put into words, but I think for like other girls, I just think it's, being a team, having that team atmosphere. And some I've talked to several recruits who might be better at softball or basketball, but they just love volleyball. It's just where their passion lies. And it's just a unique sport. It's just, you can have a point guard in basketball score 25 points and, help win the game. But really it's a team effort. You can't have one person touch the ball the entire time in volleyball. You could, but it wouldn't be a very fun game for anybody to watch or play. And so I think it's just that team atmosphere, that team aspect of it, that you really need the people around you to be successful, and the challenges that come along with that as well.
Question here from Angie Hughes Mascaro. What is your favorite memory as a head coach?
Oh, there are so many. Some of my favorite memories are, just the time with the girls, like some of the bus rides, just having fun with them on the bus. But I think my favorite, one of my favorite experiences as a head coach was the first time we got to the SAC tournament when we were Division II. And it just meant so much to those girls, who hadn't been to the conference tournament, who had worked hard for 3 and 4 years to get to that point and kind of endured some hard times. And just that class was one of my favorite classes. And I think they were just like so dedicated, great leadership across all classes. And so I think the chance that we got to go to the conference tournament for them was awesome. Just because they had put in so much hard work and they had earned it. And I'm looking forward to a similar experience like that this year.
You arrived at Brevard College in July of 2015, so you'll be entering your 6th season at the helm of the Tornadoes volleyball program this fall. Now that you've been here for a few years, what are kind of the team culture aspects that you've instilled into the team, and what are the things you may have learned as a head coach along the way?
Absolutely. I don't think I could take enough time of what all I've learned as a head coach. I would say that, culture to me, it fluctuates, it shifts a little bit. every year. And like I just mentioned with that big class that graduated a couple of years ago, I relied a lot on them for the culture. And when they graduated, we kind of had to rebuild our culture. And we've kind of had that similar process over the last couple of years. And so, what I'm looking for in our culture is, above all family, I want the girls who play volleyball at Brevard to love each other, to feel the way I do about my former teammates that are my best friends, that we've been in each other's weddings and, are still texting in a group message to this day, and just have that family atmosphere, that close, tight knit group. But also just have, academic integrity, have, be involved in the community and just be all around good people. And so I think those are the things that we want to build our program, but also the drive to be winners, the competitiveness it takes to be champions, and the passion. I mean, especially Division III, without being able to practice too much with them in the spring. Having that passion really drives the culture because, if they are passionate, they'll want to be in the gym. And if they are just here, and kind of like volleyball, then it'll be tough for them to get into the gym on their own time without the coaches in there. So those are some of the things that we've really been harping on, especially in the recruiting process, are those factors. So I think that, again, like I said, the incoming class and the returners this year are really, hitting a lot of those points. So looking forward to the kind of culture that we can build some foundation on.
You answered this partially, I think, in your last response, but a question here from Stephanie. What motivated you personally through college volleyball?
I'm so competitive. I just wanted to be the best. I wanted to win so bad, and anytime I wasn't on the court was really hard for me, and it didn't happen very often, but those were the times where, for some reason, intrinsically in me, I work harder when, I'm put in a hard spot like that. And so I would say that my competitive drive is what motivated me through college volleyball. I like to say I have a degree in volleyball. So I think that as much as I, have a deep appreciation for academics and learning, for me, it was, I wanted to play volleyball so bad. I just wanted to be in the gym, wanted to be with my friends, wanted to hit the ball really hard, do some of those fun things in practice and get better. And so that's what motivated me.
Entering your sixth season at Brevard College, you've probably learned quite a bit about Brevard College itself, along with the surrounding community of the town of Brevard and also Transylvania County. Now that you've been here for a few years, what makes Brevard College and Brevard, North Carolina so special?
Oh, there are so many things. I think, and it's something that is very similar to Boone and the college atmosphere in that small mountain town. And I often compare the two. I think that Brevard is a really just small, tight knit college mountain town. I think that makes it really special. And I think the size is what makes it special as well, just because a lot of people know each other and are very friendly. You don't really, pass by too many people in the grocery store that aren't gonna say hi or give you a wave. And so I think that the community is very special. And I think that the passion that Brevard College employees and staff have for the college is really special too. Everyone does such a great job of keeping everyone on campus involved. Like the president and the senior staff and the whole athletic department, want the coaches to be involved, the assistant coaches to be involved, the cleaning crews to be involved. And I think that's so special because when everyone's connected, everyone's committed, everyone's, buying into that, they're going to feel a deeper connection to it and more passion. And that's certainly true for me. I love being a part of some of the talks that we've been having as a campus. And I feel very fortunate to have those because I know at a bigger university, you're not really going to get that.
Question here from Director of Athletics, Miranda Nash, and you touched on this a little earlier, but if you can go into some further detail, you've got many recruits coming in this fall. Can you talk about the incoming class and where their strengths might be?
Absolutely. So we're speaking of Brevard. I'm really excited to bring in a very, very good setter right from the high school right here, Caitlin Presley. And our current setters on the roster are great. And I think that, again, we'll just have a little bit more depth in each position. But Caitlin also plays at Excel Volleyball, which is very close by. And I've known her since she was 15 years old. I coached her when she was 15. And, just to watch her grow and develop into the person she is today, I think that her skills are going to skyrocket us. I think she's going to help everyone in the gym just like raise their bar a little bit higher because of the skills she's bringing in. And I can say that for many of the recruits coming in. I would say more of our recruits this year than years before have played on competitive club teams. And they're also very driven already. We kind of shifted our recruiting a little bit to make sure that we had girls that are passionate and competitive and good students. And so I think that's some of the things that we're really going to look forward to. We also are bringing in some height. So I'm excited about that. Some of our hitters are going to have a little bit more height than what we have on our roster right now. Nothing crazy, nothing 6'2", but 5'11", 6 foot tall. So really looking forward to getting some more dynamic hitters on the front line. And again, just having depth in different positions is going to really help increase the level of play in our gym. So I'm looking forward to how that translates to the court.
You touched on it a little bit, but if you can expound on it even further, when it comes to recruiting, what type of young student athletes are you looking for at Brevard College?
Right. So, volleyball player is great. But we're looking for someone first and foremost who wants to go to Brevard College, who wants to be a part of the atmosphere here, 700 students, small college, and who wants to have that experience. Because that is the most important thing at the end of the day. This is where they're going to get their degree from. This is what's going to be hanging on the wall in their homes. And, I first and foremost want someone that wants to graduate from Brevard in 4 years and have a great experience as the student. Beyond that, I touched on, being passionate. So you have that work ethic to want to be in the gym during the off season. Being competitive, that also builds into wanting to get the work in when no one's making you do it. If, you look at your record from the fall and you say, okay, well, I want to be better than I was then. This is what I have to do to get to where I want to be. I want, that competitive drive, and just good people who want to be a part of a family atmosphere, who are going to have their teammates' backs, who are going to, be willing and ready and wanting to be working in the community and involved in the community, and, using their time to give back. I think that's a big thing. And so those are the biggest things that we talk about. And when it comes to volleyball, we just want to increase the level of play in our gym every year with our recruits. So just bringing in girls who may be a little bit better than what we have in the gym and challenging them to get better. And that's just my job as a head coach, is to continually to get better. And I think especially now that we've settled into Division III, we're kind of through that transition process. We're going to be at the conference tournament this year. Those things are really going to help us as we try to move the program forward and even get to some higher places.
Very good, Coach. Well, we are counting down towards Kellen's bedtime, so I won't keep you much longer.
Oh, don't worry about it. Dad's got it.
Oh, very good. Well, any final words for NATO Nation? I know a lot to be excited about in this offseason and as we head towards the 2020 season.
Definitely. I just want to take this time to thank everyone that supported Brevard College volleyball and our athletics as a whole, especially during this time. I hope that everyone and their families are doing well and staying sane, in this quarantine. And, I just hope and pray that we'll be in the gym in the fall, and, no matter what, just having that support and knowing the community is behind us is so important. It means so much to me. And so I'm very thankful for that.
Well, we'll see if we can sneak in another question or two here. This is coming from head baseball coach Mike Victory. Always great to hear from Coach Victory. And this is an interesting one. If you were a candy bar, what candy bar would you be and why?
I wonder what direction he's trying to go here. I'm just gonna have to say a Reese's egg. It's just one of my favorites, and I don't know. everyone likes them. Everyone likes chocolate and peanut butter, hopefully. So I guess that I'll have to think about maybe a little advanced answer, but that was a good one. Thanks, Coach Victory.
Yeah, appreciate that, Coach. Yeah, and there's got to be some sort of deeper message behind that question there from Coach. Would love to hear more from him. Well, Coach, before I let you go, what's the best way for perhaps someone who's interested in Brevard College volleyball? Perhaps there's the high school student athlete out there who would like to learn more. What's the best way to get in touch with you?
So email me directly is the best way, with some film and a little bit about yourself. If you want to also follow us on Instagram and TikTok, we have a TikTok and Twitter. We're on that, and we're going to be improving our social media footprint here. That's one of our goals for the program. So just give us a follow on that, and we try and update that and, try and give the people what they want to see.
Very good. And you can always go to www.bctornadoes.com. And if you click on staff directory, you'll be able to find coaching staff, not only for volleyball, for all the sports at Brevard College. Coach, it's been great getting with you here on this special edition of Tornado Talk. I'm glad to hear everybody's safe and well. Can't wait to get things started with the volleyball season this fall. It's going to be a lot of fun at the Boschmer Gymnasium before we know it. Thanks again, Coach.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Can't wait to get back on campus.
Very good. Head coach Anna Grant on this special edition of Tornado Talk. We'll see you next Monday night for another special edition of Tornado Talk. Go Tornadoes.